From Interior Alaska's most trusted news source, this is the Fbx Evening News.
Good evening and thanks for joining us. I'm Stephanie Woodard. Daryl Clark is off for the evening. Our top story tonight, the body of a 9-year-old boy who has been identified as Sean Brown was recovered early Sunday morning. Saturday afternoon, while riding with his father at Arctic Man, Brown rode a snow machine around a hill of snow and fell through a hole in the glacier known as a Mulan. The recovery mission to locate the boy's body was pending the approval from the Secretary of Defense at the Pentagon, and the approval had been received a few hours later. The Black Rapids-based NWTC began attempts at recovery into the deep Mulan. Now, according to State Trooper spokeswoman Megan Peters, at around 12:40 a.m., the recovery mission was completed and Brown's body was located. Recovery workers with NWTC and the Alaska State Troopers reported the body was buried in 6 to 8 feet of snow underneath the snow machine in the glacial Mulan. The news center spoke to both U.S. Army Alaska and Alaska State Troopers about the recovery mission.
We don't have the proper training and equipment, and it's not uncommon for us in any situation to look to see what resources are available to us and who is best able to perform some type of task. And in this case, we're not the right ones to actually go down and do the recovery. We're calling on the military to help us.
The team of 14, along with small unit support vehicles, snow machines, and recovery gear, linked up with the Alaska State Troopers. The Northern Warfare Training Center assets are the only available resources to perform the recovery in a timely manner.
A memorial fund has been set up for Sean Brown. People may contribute at Denali State Bank, Mac Federal Credit Union, or online. The bank accounts are under Eleanor and Brandon Waller and Sean Brown. Or you can visit the website www.fundraiser.com, the Sean Brown Memorial Fund. Now, Brown was also a student at Denali Elementary School in Fairbanks, and today was a hard day for both students and staff. The principal of Denali Elementary spoke to the news center about how the Fairbanks North Star Borough School District is helping the students cope with the sudden loss of a beloved classmate.
There was some tears, there was some laughter, telling stories about, their time playing with Sean. He also had opportunities, especially in his class and the classmates who have known him for a number of years, that they had an opportunity to express their feelings, and those we'll share with the family when the appropriate time is. It speaks highly of our community that the voices of support that we have, sometimes just quiet, just quick, need anything, let me know.
For the first time since the year 2010, the Alaska State Legislature has adjourned on time. During the session, legislators approved 71 bills and a $2.2 billion capital budget. Lawmakers also passed oil tax legislation. Governor Sean Parnell has been fighting to overhaul the state's tax structure for years, arguing that a lower rate would encourage more investment and more oil production. The legislature also passed a bill advancing an in-state gas line project, and they put together a financing program to get natural gas trucked from the North Slope to the interior.
We had a good session this year. Lots of things were accomplished. We tried to control the size of the operating budget. The operating budget chairman can certainly talk about that or anything else. We also had a smaller capital budget, trying to make sure that as we spend Alaskans' money, that we try to do it in a fashion that meets their needs, but certainly tries to save for the future.
Okay, well, Mike Schultz is joining us for our first look at weather. Mike, give me some good news, please.
I have some good news for you, Stephanie. We're looking at temperatures near 40 degrees toward the end of the week, and temperatures should continue to rise all the way through the week, which means all the moisture we have around is starting to melt. In fact, you could tell that by looking at my car with all the water that's been spread up around it. Right now, temperatures are very comfortable, 30 degrees everywhere you look. Well, 28 around Nenana and Denali Park, 28 degrees. Otherwise, 30 degrees for Fort Wainwright, Fairbanks, and North Pole, 28 at Allison Air Force Base, the cool spot going to Delta Junction with 26 degrees. In the lower 48, they're not letting winter go too easily. We'll talk more about that, a big winter storm for those folks, all the weather later on. Stephanie?
Thanks, Mike. I'll take 30s. I will take that. When we come back, a woman interested in the construction trades will be able to learn all about them at a meeting tomorrow. Also, a change of plans for a famous opera. Those stories are next, so stay with us.
This edition of the Fairbanks Evening News is brought to you by Northland Hearing Services. Better hearing with a human touch.
Life Med Alaska, Spenard Builder Supply.
And by First National Bank of Alaska, where Alaska's dreams grow.
Welcome back to the Fairbanks Evening News. After many years of failed legislative attempts, the Alaska legislature has passed legislation which will overhaul Alaska's oil tax structure. Shortly after 2 a.m. this morning, the Alaska Senate passed SB 21 legislation Governor Sean Parnell hopes will incentivize oil producers to increase production and exploration. The vote was 12-8. SB 21 reduces the tax rate to 35% and creates a per barrel allowance on a sliding scale, high when prices are lower, zero when higher prices. Critics of the legislation claim the reduction will lead a disastrous Alaskan budget. Now, supporters say the tax change was needed to increase investment. One of the main issues in setting the numbers was factoring in the cost of doing business here in Alaska.
Just mobilizing a rig is, quote, going to be a challenge in a short term. It will happen, but it has to move, and it has to make sure it's set for the mission. But the beauty of this, when you talk to either small or large potential producers, they are enthusiastic about the change.
Thanks to some last-minute efforts by the state representatives, funding for 2 new University of Alaska buildings has been reinstated in the $2.2 billion state capital budget. The House Finance Committee advanced the budget on Sunday. $30 million has been allotted to finish construction of 2 new engineering buildings, one at the UAA campus, the other here in Fairbanks. Earlier this month, the Senate Finance Committee did not include funding for the 2 projects. Construction, which just broke ground this month, would have stopped at the end of the year. The University of Alaska Board of Regents has postponed a decision to increase tuition. The proposal was heard on Friday about weather for Fairbanks business students. The plan would boost tuition by 25% for graduate courses or higher during a 2-year period starting in the 2014 academic year. This would add about $3,000 to the overall cost of accounting, economics, and business administration degrees at UAF. The possible increase in tuition is said to, quote, keep pace at its rapidly growing business school, end quote. The School of Management now has more than 700 students. Opera Fairbanks got some bad news this weekend when it was announced that internationally acclaimed and former Fairbanksan Vivian Jeannot would not be able to perform in this summer's production of Carmen. Jeannot, unfortunately, will be undergoing some medical procedures and has been advised by her doctors that she will need time to recuperate. She says she is very sorry as she enjoys performing for her hometown. Opera Fairbanks was able to come up with a solution that they feel will make opera fans locally excited about the upcoming summer season.
The show must go on. We have Carmen this summer, and I am very, very happy to be able to report that we have a wonderful, distinguished soprano from the Metropolitan Opera under contract now to sing the role of Carmen. So the production in no way artistically will suffer.
Last month, the Alaska Construction Academy conducted training for sessions for male workers to expand their knowledge in assorted construction fields. Now it's the woman's turn, as the Academy will be recruiting women for a number of available job careers. The state will be footing the bill for the training sessions, which will be held tomorrow and next Tuesday from 6 p.m. until 8 p.m. Careers covered will be plumbing and pipe fitting, electrical, carpentry, painting, and taping. Additional training in health, safety, and career readiness will also be offered.
This training program coming up is called Women in the Trades. And it's a survey course specifically designed for women, only women participants. And we'll be looking at 4 different trades this time: the electricians, the plumbers, the carpenters, and the finishing trades, painting and taping. And they're going to actually have hands-on experiences in each of those trades as they find out about what are the trades about, what do they do.
Hey Joe, you had a busy weekend this weekend.
Yeah,
How was the Arctic Man?
It was great. I'm so glad I was able to go, and we have a loaded weekend recap coming up. We're talking about Game 2 of the playoffs for the Ice Dogs. We have some high school baseball going on, and yes, the Arctic Man, great time there. You'll see what happened, and a whole lot more coming up next.
office of Rita T. Alley. Peace of mind through professional legal services.
Hello, Interior Alaska. Joe Cook here in a sports seat for you this Monday evening. And Mondays means it's time for your weekend recap. We start off tonight with Arctic Man. It was my first time, and I have to say I plan to come back next year. Special thanks to Justin, Matt, and Mr. Steve for giving me my first snow machine rides. Here's what happened, and a lot at the signature event you can only experience in Alaska. To start off the 28th Tesoro Arctic Man, the new adaptive class for skiers who have no use of their legs. These athletes swoop by sitting on one ski. Tyler Walker and Paul Thacker won the first adaptive class event. This was my first Arctic Man, and I ran into another rookie, Kayla Fry, the UAA student who pulled Lila Crawley to a second place finish in women's ski.
It's a good environment. The girls' field's pretty small. We all know each other and making friends, and yeah, we're here to win, but it's about having fun too.
Jonathan Huff, a Fbx finished his ski in 4 minutes for 6th place. This is his 5th Arctic Man.
It was great. You know, just off first aid there, just lots of air coming in. Legs are burning. Just coming all the way down to the finish.
This year's Arctic Man was record-setting. Nate Holland set a new men's snowboard record, finishing in 4 minutes and 26 seconds, going as fast as 58 miles per hour, giving Holland back-to-back titles.
Came across and felt like that was a really good time and felt like it was going to be a contender, and it turns out it was.
The man of the day was Tyler Ackelstad. The Palmer native not only pulled Holland on his record-setting snowboard run, but he and Marco Sullivan led a fast field, finishing in 3 minutes and 52 seconds as 3 other teams finished under 4 minutes. Ackelstad and Sullivan's 3 straight wins in men's ski, an Arctic Man record.
We trained and practiced, and we were ready for this, and looks like everything went as planned.
The beautiful scenery, enthusiastic fans and supporters, party atmosphere, and the top-level competition defined another tremendous year of the Arctic Man. From the Hoodoo Mountains by Summit Lake, Alaska, Joe Cook, Channel 11 Sports.
Coverage of this year's Arctic Man is brought to you by Alaska Fun Center and College Collision and Refinish.
And the Fairbanks Ice Dogs were back in the Big Dipper for Game 2 of their playoff series with the Brown Bears. It's playoff hockey, and goals can be hard to manufacture. This game could have turned out a whole lot differently if it wasn't for this Ice Dogs goal that was disallowed. Lawrence Cornelier thought he scored, but the ref saw that Taylor Munson's skate was in the crease before the puck arrived, negating the goal. Later in the first period, at the 7:42 mark, Judd Lowenstein made it 1-0 Kenai with an assist from Zach Lazaro. The Ice Dogs will get on the board officially with a power play goal that was sent in by Cornelier, assisted by Devin Lowe and Max Birkenbein on the equalizer. Both goalies and defenses pitched a shutout in the second period. Kenai's Marcus Zelzer was all in, making 29 saves on 30 shots. Steve Perry stopped 25 of 27 Brown Bear shots, but Kenai's Alex Jackstead scored the game-winning power play goal halfway through the final period. Jackstead had a league-leading 10 game winners in the regular season, and the last one gave Kenai its first postseason victory in franchise history. The series is tied 1-1 with the next 2 games on Kenai's home ice.
We knew we needed a split. So we went out there, chipped it, played simple, got shots, won races, and it paid off in the end.
Yeah, I think we were a little soft today. I mean, we could have hit more. I mean, just definitely on the forecheck. If we hit their D more, they're going to get tired, and by the end of the game, it's going to help us.
It's enormous, really. I mean, it's a huge monkey off my back personally. I mean, to be honest, it is what it is. We've never won, and we did it.
You have to have a short-term memory in playoffs. Obviously, this game did not end with the result that we had wanted, but now it's a 3-game series. So, I like our team. We like our team, and they'll rebound.
And the baseball season started this weekend for the North Pole Patriots down in the Juneau area. The North Pole baseball team was in some close games, but ultimately they would lose 3. The Sitka Wolves won in a walk-off fashion with a single coming in the bottom of the 7th for a 5-4 win Thursday. The Patriots played Thunder Mountain on Friday and lost another game by a run, 3-2. The Falcons came back on Saturday and soundly won 10-0 over North Pole. The Patriots will have time to learn and regroup. Their next game is scheduled for April 26th against Cordova in a home game. And the 19th annual Beat Beethoven 5K started and finished at the University of Alaska Fairbanks early Saturday. For the first time in 2 years, there were new winners in men's and women's divisions. Steen Stensland won the men's division in 16 minutes and 17 seconds. For the ladies, it was UAF's Allison McFeeters finishing first in 18 minutes and 33 seconds. Runners had to finish the 5K before Beethoven's 5th Symphony came to an end, about 31 minutes in length. Those accomplishing the feat received a voucher to attend one of the Fbx Symphony Association's concerts during the 2013-2014 season.
Just behind on the top there, and then we got onto the snow and got out and on right near Hess Village where we live, just 50 meters away from the course, and then I speeded up on the downhills and I got a gap on them right away, and I just increased that towards the end there.
I just kind of went for it. I wasn't quite sure how it was going to go. I decided to just cruise and see what would happen. And it was really fun because I caught up to a couple of the guys and I was like, okay, let's keep this going, let's push each other and stuff, and it was really fun.
And that'll do it for sports tonight. Thanks for rocking with me for a little while. Stay cool, Alaska. Mike Schultz has your full weather forecast coming up next, and we'll catch you next time.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back into Fbx Evening News. What a nice day it was, and the melting is going on right now, and we've seen a lot of that going on right now. As far as temperatures go, well, here's what it looks like normally this time of year. The normal high is 44, not close to that. Normal low 20 degrees, record high 58 in 1915, 12 below in 1914, and our sunrise was at 6:16 this morning. Sun will set this evening at 9:30. How about that? Giving us 15 hours and 15 minutes of daylight, a gain of 7 minutes from yesterday. Here's our satellite picture today, and you see a little bit of cloudiness to the east of the Fairbanks area. That's an area of low pressure that brought us our snow flurry activity. Well, it's slowly pushing its way into Canada, and the jet stream is way down to the south, so things look pretty good. What's going on across the rest of the state? As you see here, lots of sunshine and scattered clouds. That's about it. Cloudy skies around Kodiak and Cold Bay. Not too bad across southeast Alaska. 1 degree at Barrow, 25 degrees at Fort Yukon. Lower 48 weather, here's what it looks like. We'll start off with the Pacific Northwest first. You can see nice weather around Seattle and Portland, a few showers around the Idaho Falls area. And over to the East Coast, we'll head over there. And you can see, again, we're looking at some rain around Chicago, 81 degrees at Nashville, Washington, D.C., 63. Down to the southeast, not too bad. A few scattered thunderstorms around the Atlanta, Georgia area. That's about it. And way out to the west, we're looking at nice weather. Oh, some isolated showers around Los Angeles. You don't see that very often. What's going on in our satellite picture? Well, you can see a little bit of cold air moving its way down the west coast, and then a lot more moisture moving across the eastern half of the country. There's the rain across the Chicago area. And the overall outlook for this week, later on, the jet stream once again will be moving west to east, but diving way down to the south later on, which helps to pull the cold air down and create some thunderstorms, maybe some violent weather down there. Well, back to Alaska for tomorrow. For the northern sections, it looks like this. Partly cloudy skies in Barrow, sunny in Nome, and a few flurries in the Fort Yukon area. Here in the interior, we'll be looking at mostly cloudy skies with flurries for both Fairbanks and the Healy area. Over the southeast, looks like mostly sunny skies for Juneau and Ketchikan. And over to the southwest, we're looking at maybe cloudy skies with rain in Cold Bay, scattered clouds in Kodiak, and sunny skies at Bethel. And over the south central sections, scattered clouds for all areas, isolated snow showers in Valdez. Once again, time for our kids' weather, and this week we're talking with a new class from the Barnett Magnet School. Here's a couple of girls with a story for you.
My name's Grace. And my name's Adeline. We have a weather story to tell you. Once, when I was in kindergarten, we were at recess. And it was so windy, the wind blew the snow everywhere that we couldn't see. So I dug a hole to put my face in so the snow won't get in my eyes. The wind was so hard I couldn't even see where I was going. Thank you. Thank you.
And tomorrow night, we'll have another young lady here with a picture to share with us. Here's your forecast for the remainder of the night. 3 degrees, the overnight low. High clouds through the night, not too bad. Tomorrow's forecast slowly warming up. 31 degrees for the high. Scattered clouds a little warmer. And the extended forecast, you gotta love this. All 5 days, no precipitation expected. And temperatures continuing to rise to the 40-degree mark over the weekend. That'll be very comfortable. That means more melting and more opportunity for my car to get totally messed up with all the spray going around. But hey, that's what happens this time of year when you get spring melt going on. Nice job down there at the Arctic Man.
Thank you, thank you. I mean,
and that's one tip that you do need to know. Just like he said, don't wash your car. Don't bother washing your car for about, what? How many weeks would you say?
Not till you get into the 50s or 60s, I think.
Yeah.
Then it'll all be gone by then.
All right, well, that will wrap up this edition of the Fbx Evening News. We're glad you could join us. But before we go, tonight it's time for Watch and Win with Woodard. Tonight's jewelry is a camel amulet necklace. It's by Pristine, so make sure to go to webcenter11.com and enter for your chance to win a $350 gift certificate to Pristine's.
Nice, nice. And you can join us here 6 days a week at 6 and 11 or online anytime at webcenter11.com.
And that will do it from all of us here at the News Center. Have a good night, everyone. We'll see you back here at 11.